So, I'm going to give you 5 key takeaways. The number one key thing that we need to do is we've got to make sports fun again. Somehow, some way, we've got to bring it back to the kids and help them it's their game. And one of the great initiatives that's just happened, I think it was in Idaho, there was an accountant who's also a baseball coach. NBC just did a news report on it, and they made a big deal of it. They've got unsupervised sandlot baseball going on. And the kids are just going to the ball field. There's no parents allowed to do anything. And they just go and they form their own teams and they play baseball for an hour and a half, like I did when I was a kid, sandlot. They're making a big deal of it, but that's the way it should be. They should have free play. They should have the experience. And one of the kids is interviewed at the end of it, and he goes, "What do you like better, your organized baseball team or this?" The kid goes, "I love this. Don't tell my dad." Make it safe. Talked about safe to fail, but I think it's also important that we make it safe from all levels of harassment. It seems like every day I see a bullying story, and I've personally had to deal with bullying, cyberbullying, sexual harassment, and hazing. Hazing has no place in youth sports. It has no place in sport, but it has no place whatsoever in youth sports, and I've had to deal with it, which is unbelievable how tough it is. But if you look at this, is a slide that I pulled it right from True Sports report, I think 2008, 2009. The number one issue, that was the serious issue that parents identified that was facing youth sports was harassment, 38% of the respondents. Second to that was intolerance and racism. So why do you think there's been the big push for inclusion of late? Because that's the second biggest issue that we have in sport. And third is lack of fair play. The lack of giving the kids an opportunity to play. So follow these things and we start bringing it safe for the kids. And both fronts, safe to fail and also safe from harassment, we bring it back to them. Teach skills. I won't get into this at length, but I believe strongly in every team I've ever coached, respect is something that we're missing in sport and we need to bring it back. Saw that video, respect, we lose the game, from the UK. Same theme. Sportsmanship is also something that's lacking. It's not being reinforced by coaches. Winning with humility and losing with dignity. I coached senior rugby this year. Half my team had never played the game before, and we got spanked every single game. But one game, the team was up. It was probably, 48 or 54. I can't even remember what the score was. You lose track when there's more than 5 tries. And I knew that every game we were going to get spanked pretty good. But there was kids on the other team, every time they scored a try, they were doing cartwheels off the field. I was like going to explode. And the other coach didn't do anything about it. Didn't matter. Don't rub salt in a wound. There's the pros and cons. A lot of that stuff is missing in sport. Care passionately. The talk I'll be doing at lunchtime, we'll be talking about that. Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Number one characteristic of coaching. And right in behind it, and I've asked this question like thousands of coaches, passion. How many of you feel that you're passionate about your sport? That you just love it and you want to instill that passion in the kids? That's what will keep them coming back with a smile on their face if they truly love the game. And that comes from coaches. And last but not least, don't be a kid's last coach. Our job as coaches is really tough because most coaches in Canada, most coaches worldwide are volunteers. So it's impossible to make it a living. Truly is. But what our role and our purpose is as coaches is to make a difference. You heard Marion talk about all the great superstar coaches she had when she was going through tough times. Great coaches make a difference. And the business that we are in as coaches is making a difference by developing youth into adults. That's what we do. Some of them will go on for greatness. Some of them will go play professionally. Some will get NC. But majority of the kids that we coach, our job is to teach character, teach life skills, and build them into better people. So please ensure the legacy that you leave behind is a positive one, and you're not a kid's last coach.